so nice to meet you and having you here in Hanover to the Classic Open Air. So my first question to you is, having you perform tonight, how do you rate the importance of these Classic Open Air events, and what do you like most about them?
I think they're incredibly important. I think being able to open up the classical world to a wider audience that perhaps wouldn't dare to buy tickets to go into an opera house or wouldn't think that they could be involved in something like this is something that keeps the art form alive. So it is of the utmost importance.
You've said it all. I have nothing to add. I mean, it's for us, we rate it very importantly.
Yeah.
Personally, because we don't get to do a lot of these, so every time it's like a gift, you know, it's like Christmas.
Yes.
To get to sing our favorite arias with an orchestra in front of thousands of people that are really keen to be there. They're really happy to hear this, and they let us know, and this energy, you know, it brings us energy, and so we give more energy, and it becomes like this big fiesta of sound and of music.
Yeah. And who knows, one person brings a friend for the first time, they love an aria, and then all of a sudden they are coming to opera houses and they're enjoying things, you know, outside of these specific spaces. It's very important.
Absolutely.
But she's already taken.
Yeah. So be careful. Right.
Funny.
So what is your favorite aria for tonight? Because you were mentioning it, that you are singing the most favorite arias. You like both performing together. So do you have any specific aria tonight where you say, we are really, really looking forward to that?
Can I answer for you?
Oh,
You answer for me?
Okay.
So I've never heard Etienne sing either the prologue from Pagliacci or Ford's aria from Falstaff. And I have to say, both are very impressive, but I think the prologue is amazing, and it's so
amazing.
It's not repertoire that's as widely known, and so I think Etienne takes a great pleasure in being a showman as well.
But I've heard that one lately at Waldbühne Berlin.
Ah, there you go.
So I love that one. So I'm really, really looking forward to hearing that from you.
It's pretty
Sure.
good. It's not that I'm biased or anything, but I think it's very good.
Absolutely, it's beautiful.
Well, I'll answer for you, but my answer would be a bit like yours. There's the Traviata duet. It's not an aria, but it's one of those moments that's just so beautiful and emotional. And what's sad is that it's not really completely the whole role for Nicole's voice. It's her voice that's a bit lower than the role, so she hasn't really had opportunities to do it. I kind of wish Verdi was still alive, because I'm sure for you it would rewrite some of it. I think she soars through both the emotional and the musical aspects of Traviata. But I think it's nice for you to sing Visidarte. It's short to the point, and it describes perfectly, in my taste, where her voice is going. So I think we have on our hands one of the most beautiful Puccinian singers of the next few years, and you know, she's just getting there at that turn in her career, and I think it's a nice little calling card we'll hear tonight, you know?
Sounds really promising.
Fingers crossed.
I like to put pressure too.
Yeah, why not? So I see you're really getting on well with each other. So that would be my next question. Sorry to ask that one. But
It's all for TV.
I was wondering how it's like to perform as a couple. I mean, you've been performing with many different artists on stage, but is there a difference, or is it more difficult to be with your husband and wife? And what is the challenges, really?
I think it's great to be on stage with Etienne. We know each other so well that any small change in movement, change in voice, change in anything in the evening, the other one will respond to right away, because we're very in tune with each other.
Yeah.
But that can be negative as well, in that he will know straight away if there is something not 100% right.
Ah, yes. But I see that as a positive. Because if something's not 100% right, then I want to help. Like you did for me recently. I was quite sick during a run of Van Yegen's. And in the final duet, it's just the two of us on stage for almost 20 minutes, and the whole time I could feel in her eyes, she was just looking at me. Sometimes she would even say, "I'm here for you. You're doing great." You know, it's that you don't get that always with random partners that you barely know. So, to me, it's a more positive than a negative when we're not feeling so good.
Yeah. it's less positive when you come up after an aria and he's like, oh, wasn't your best tonight?
Well, then don't ask.
I don't think I did.
Yes, you did. It's like, oh, how was the aria tonight? I'm like, you sounded better. I mean, you're not best. It's still better than most people, but you know.
So you're each other's critics, basically.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But
I'm much worse than she is. She's so nice always.
I should critique you more.
You
I will.
could.
I will.
Definitely, there's definitely room there. Because she's always like, you know, but it was great. And where I'm like, my God, why did you do it like this? Yeah, we're not. Yeah.
okay.
But we're still together, so that's a good sign.
This is a really good sign. But I've also heard that when couples are both on stage, they could get too emotional. Could that be a problem, that one doesn't want to give too much away to the audience?
No,
If one gets too emotional?
I think it's a personal thing. I think it
Yeah.
depends on we're both people that, singers that like to be the role, that like to act the role.
Okay.
In Nicole in particular, I gotta say, it becomes extremely true to an audience. I've been in the audience watching, I'm like, it just looks like the character. The essence of the character just materializes. So the emotion wouldn't be linked to me, but more linked to her character.
Okay.
That's true. I think when
Yeah.
we step on stage, we're no longer Nicole and Etienne.
Right.
We're, you know, Mimi and Marcello, and
Yeah.
it probably helps a lot that he's a baritone, so he's never singing my lover.
Rarely,
He's
rarely,
always, you
yeah.
know, my father, my brother.
The reason she dies, let's just put it that way. Usually the reason she's dead.
So you're always jealous of the tenors, aren't you?
Always.
Yes.
Always.
Well, that said, the most emotional I've ever seen Nicole on stage, I wasn't on stage. And it was a beautiful thing to watch. It didn't have to do with partners, it had to do with her character. I've seen also, we get quite emotional, all human beings, when we're very tired. And having a child, you know, when he was quite young, that didn't mean our emotions were already starting here, you know. And so we've been talking for a few years now about operas like, for me, Rigoletto, for her, Butterfly, where you literally say goodbye to your child in the text and on stage in the acting. And I'm like, how tough is that going to be? Yeah, I don't think it will be related to the two of us as much as to our child.
Yeah. I can already see it.
If you think too much about it, you're getting emotional
Of
right now.
course.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you have to control that on stage.
Absolutely, because, you know, you have two tiny little muscles that are controlling everything that you do, and so if you get emotional, if you have like tears caught in your throat,
They
you can't
seize
sing.
up and they stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But what was the most fantastic experience on stage you ever had, and what was so special about that? Like for the both of you, like not your individual performances, but when
Together?
you, together.
That's hard. We've been so blessed to have a lot of opportunities to sing together.
Yeah.
But
And also the problem was sometimes, even if we were together on stage, we had a child very early in our relationship. So what happens is that quite often you don't really enjoy it because you're really in a rush to make sure your child is okay and to go home, and you know. And so afterwards you realize people were really, really moved by a performance. I think the not just safest but truest answer is when we met. I think that probably is we were singing Onegin.
Yeah, our first Onegin together in Berlin was
in
really
Berlin,
special.
and everything was new about the relationship, and so it informed a lot of the thrill that we had of sharing the stage. We were really excited every night. You know, we were not hiding the relationship growing. It's just there was something. It was so new. It was like, you know, just being close to each other, you know, and so being close to each other on stage was like amplified.
So there was this excitement.
Yeah.
I think as well we made simultaneous debuts at the Met, and
Yes.
so doing the very famous Zeffirelli La Bohème at the Met with great colleagues and
that's
and
true.
working together. Like I was so proud as his wife to have my husband debuting at the Met, and he was so proud as a husband at the same time, and we both got to share that experience, and that was very, very special for me anyway.
Absolutely. No.
It's like, no,
I'm not making sounds, but I'm like, yeah. No, it was. You know,
Yeah.
it's just, you're right. The production is iconic, and so it was
To have our names on those
It was
costumes.
lovely to turn around, and see my wife there dying on that bed that, Mirella Freni was dying on, and a bunch of people died on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love seeing my wife die, because if I didn't, I would have to change. Well, you always die.
I die a lot.
If I didn't, I have to get, tough.
Yeah.
You never knew you needed in life, knowing how to die well. Sometimes singing for 10 minutes while dying, sometimes not.
Collapsing on stage is a big one.
Great collapse, great
How to do that
kneeling.
without bruises everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen you collapsing basically in Dialogue de Carmelite.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I did.
I loved that
That was
production so
amazing,
much.
just by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you
I
for
loved
saying
that. I love that role. I cannot wait to sing Blanche again. I think that piece is just incredible, and
Yeah.
I would say it needs to be played more, but so many houses are doing it at the moment, which I'm really happy to see.
It shed me two tears, basically. I was sitting there completely lost afterwards,
Oh, wow.
because it's such an emotional piece.
It's so
very
moving.
powerful.
And it's one of those pieces, like talking about desensitizing yourself from something like Butterfly, for example, or Traviata Bohème, but it's one of those pieces that you can't actually desensitize yourself. And so I found myself every show during the final scene, the Salve Regina, you just can't help it. It comes up. I mean, even right now I have goosebumps thinking about it. And so to be on stage doing that, there's something very, very special, very
Absolutely.
moving for, I think, audience and performers alike.
I can't even say I enjoyed it, because enjoying is really the wrong word, but it got to me extremely.
Yeah.
So
It
thank
moved
you
you.
Well, I'm
very
glad
much
to hear
for
that.
one. Yeah,
Oh, well,
yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But now I'm moving to a completely different question. I'm noting that you're very outgoing people. And I was just wondering, because opera singers nowadays have to be very present in public as well. Not just only on stage, but mostly now off stage, as in social media. So what is your approach to social media? Do you think opera singers have to be more visible apart from being on the stage?
Yes.
We have very
the short
different
answer
approaches
is
Okay.
when it
Yeah.
comes to social media, Nicole and I.
yes. Yeah. I think the most important thing in any social media, which we don't see a lot, is honesty. And so what I like to show, I mean, I'm not as present on social media as I probably should be, but what I like to show is the reality of what our life is, what our traveling life is, what our couple life is, being a family, moving around. And, there are amazing aspects of it, but there are also, hard times as well. But I think younger singers, especially, or younger artists, I think they do feel the pressure to be more present on social media, and I don't see that changing in the near future, at least.
Could well be.
In the near future, probably not, no.
Yeah.
Until someone figures out a different way to make a name or a face or a voice get heard by as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Right now, social media is that way. When you've never heard of someone, people say, have you ever heard of this singer? You immediately say, oh no, and you go,
Absolutely.
it's so easy to go on Instagram or to go on YouTube and type the name and discover a bit of that artist and performer, which I think is great. It's probably one of the best positive aspects of social media. But, in the back of my head, I try to remember that all of that is there for monetization, like by clicks, by views, by subscribing to different programs that give you money per click. And so there's a lot of sensationalism that we're trying to stay away from. So, we're not the people with the most followers or views, but the ones we have, we think are incredible. Every time I get one of my videos past like 2,000 views, I'm like, what? How did that happen? Like, I love that I'm able to reach that amount of people.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely great.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
and it is about the videos, honestly.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you watch them, you can see, is that a good singer? Do I like that singer? What's
But it should be a great commercial for that singer. You know what I mean? It should be like a great visit card, because you will never know, and this is a message for everyone out there, you will never truly know what someone can make you feel once you're sitting in a hall in front of them.
Oh, you're
and
so right.
Probably more than once. Just for many reasons, because it could be the theater, it could have a different theater. Right now, tonight, for example, will be outdoors with microphones, with not the same as if you come and see us in a theater that's smaller. You'll be able to get a different sense of what our voices are like, what our energy is like. Same thing when we go into a larger theater. It's a different sense again of what we can give. So you can really truly, if you like a singer, you can truly experience many different ways to visit that form of artistry. So there was a long speech about what you don't get on social media. So we should use it, as a calling card. Say, like, hey guys, if you feel like seeing an artist you like, Google them, look at, go on YouTube, go on and check it out, and then please try to find where they are performing, and you might get an even better emotion, better experience of that person.
This is how I use Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
New
So do we?
discoveries and you work out, colleagues that you might sing with in the future, or shows that are on in the same town, and do I want to go in and investigate and invest in that artist and invest in their story, and I think it's a great vehicle for that.
Absolutely, I agree. Perfect. So, any future projects you're both really looking forward to, or can't you tell me?
Well,
We
there
can.
are a lot that we are looking forward to.
Yeah.
I think Etienne's really looking forward to his first Rigoletto.
Right. Well, you want to answer for me again? Because
Yes.
Okay, so let's put it this way. Hello. Let's put it this way. There are many projects coming up that we can't talk about. But in the near future, there are some. I can tell you that next week, we're joining a Young Artist program as artistic directors. We're kind of jumping in. They called us mid-season, and we said yes because we love paying it forward. Now, I have to say, we've been chatting with them a lot in Montreal. The program is called l'ICAV, Institut Canadien d'Art Vocal. We might change the name later on if we can, but we'll see. But they have a lot of young singers, and we want to pay it forward. Everything we've gotten, all the help we got for free sometimes, most times, we're trying to give as well. We brought in great coaches, all that stuff. We're looking forward to do that. We're on our phones every night to make sure the day went well, because it's already going on right now, and then we'll join them as soon as we can. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Trying to help the new generation, trying to help, especially after COVID, there's a lot of how do you say blasé in English?
Blasé exists in English. We say it,
It's a French word, but and the spleen of it all, where you just go like, is it ever going to work? And where do I need to knock, and where do I need to send my stuff to get people try different venues? They're not necessarily aware of the best ones, so we're to try to help that happen. I'm really looking forward to that. And then of course my first Rigoletto.
Yes, you have to learn
so
that.
cleverly mentioned.
Well, yes.
With Javier Anduaga.
That's
Who's
right.
going to be
We're singing together in
performing
Madrid.
Okay.
I'm going to be performing his Rigoletto. He's going to be performing my Duke.
That's
There you
right.
go.
I make my Scala debut in October, so
Oh, congratulations.
thank you. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I think it's one of the few very iconic opera houses that I haven't had the chance to perform in yet. So
So
that
what
would be
will you
fun.
be performing?
Yeah, exactly. The question we all want.
That's the
Come on.
I mean, of course,
Ellen-
Scala, yeah.
Ellen Orford in Peter Grimes. Ellen Orford in Peter
Oh,
Grimes.
wow.
Which is such a great role.
Yeah,
Oh,
another stunner.
yeah. And also
Yeah, that is a
less
piece.
stress just to not sing Italian in an Italian house. I think
Yeah,
it's
it's English.
exactly. It's much
English,
better. I think.
sure.
As a start.
Yeah, right.
You have studied in Italy and in Italian most of your life, so
I know, but Nicole
Now
Car
that she-
doesn't exactly sound Italian.
Now that she's learned French, and every time someone speaks Italian to her, the first words come out are French. Like it's just.
Yeah, my brain goes like.
But that's the way it is.
It's
Secondary
mixing
languages.
If you speak a couple, then you mix them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
Just comes out
And
as
if
something.
you use them regularly, then you mix them anyway.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience.
Yes, I do.
But it's fun. We have some really great projects. We do one project together next year.
Is that it?
Yeah, just Simone
Just the
Boccanegra.
Boccanegra in
Yeah.
Paris. Yeah, we're looking.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that as well.
So I'm so lucky. I sing my first Amelia and my first Desdemona this coming season, and so moving into that Verdi repertoire.
Wonderful roles.
Yeah, really exciting. So Paris and Vienna, and yeah, really great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're basically what we're trying to say is we're looking forward to everything coming up.
Yeah, it's nice. The
Every
calendars are looking good.
project.
Perfect. Okay.
Being in Paris, being at home, because that's where we live in Paris, is also really lovely. So.
Yeah, that's true.
We are blessed. For now, we are the luckiest singers on the planet.
Yeah, you look it.
Thank you.
And I've got my last question for you.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yes.
So tell me, what is the magic about opera? What makes the magic of opera?
It doesn't happen every time.
That's true. When opera is done well, when it is sung well and played well, it's a vessel into the human soul. And you feel it on stage, you feel it in the orchestra, and you feel it in the audience. And there is a truth and a beauty to it that you cannot find in any other art form. And that's where the magic is.
Yeah, there's the element of being live, so anything can happen. It gives you this little spark as an audience member. What's going to happen next? Is it going to be great? Is it not going to be great? Is it? I was there for that. I love when I get to say I was in the audience for that. You know, you never know when that's going to happen. But if you go to the opera, good chances it will happen. You know, I was there for that person's last performance of that role, or I was there that time that the conductor fell face first into the pit. You know, I mean, like it whatever it is, there's something about a live performance that it is magical. I think that opera might be an older art form, but the emotions that it how do you say it? Not advertises that it brings forth, they're the same as today. I can sing a count or a pagliacci, or it doesn't matter which role, and I can find the same emotion. I'm certain that the person did when it was first performed or when it was first thought of or written, and I feel as an audience member sometimes that exact emotion where I'd be like, that guy is talking about jealousy of this, or and I'd be like, oh, I've lived that situation. Like it still happens today. It's an ageless art. If you do it well, it hasn't aged.
So beautiful final words. Thank you so much.
Thank
It was a
you.
real pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
I'm so much looking forward to this venue tonight.
So
I
are
hope you
we.
enjoy it. Yeah. We should. I hope we
Oh my
enjoy it
God,
also.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for. I mean, thank you, lovely interview. But I'm really anxious to go there now. I'm like, I want to go sing.
I know. It's all fine. You're dismissed.
Thank you.
Go run.
Maybe I